Picture this, a quiet suburban cul-de-sac, where the hum of lawnmowers and the chatter of dog walkers create a peaceful humdrum. Then, one crisp morning, a shiny black SUV rockets into the air like a kid's toy launched from a slingshot, its wheels spinning uselessly before it crashes sideways into a bed of perfectly arranged tulips. Petals explode in a colorful chaos, and a piercing scream cuts through the air like a siren. The neighborhood stops dead, as if time itself paused to watch justice unfold in glorious slow motion. 5 seconds earlier, the driver, Monica, had revved her engine and snapped, "This driveway ain't yours, geek." 5 seconds later, her luxury ride was tilted in the dirt like a discarded action figure. And me? I just stood on my porch, sipping my coffee, and muttered to myself, I told her. Let me take you back a few weeks. My name's Ethan Caldwell, a work-from-home engineer who designs security systems for high-stakes clients. Think defense contractors, not mall cops. I picked my house for its long driveway and detached garage, a perfect setup for tinkering in peace. My office window faces the drive, letting me keep an eye on the world without getting sucked into its drama. That peace shattered the day Monica moved in next door. She rolled up like a storm cloud in designer sunglasses, all confidence and leopard print swagger. Within a day, she was at my door, asking if I'd trim my already neat hedge. I thought she was kidding. She wasn't. Monica didn't stop there. She complained about my garage lights being too bright, the faint smell of solder from my workshop, and my absence from HOA meetings. I didn't even know we had an HOA until she announced herself as its new president. Then came the real issue. She started using my driveway as her personal shortcut to skip the street's circular loop. The first time, I chalked it up to a GPS glitch. By the third, I saw her barrel through without a glance. I waved her down, and she rolled her window down with a syrupy smile. "Hope you don't mind," she said. "Saves me a minute." Before I could respond, she sped off, Leah VYing me, standing there like an NPC in her world. I tried talking to her the next day, calmly explaining that the driveway was mine and I'd appreciate her asking first. She laughed as sharp, mocking cackle like I demanded her firstborn. "It's just concrete, Ethan. You don't even use the front half. Besides, as HOA president, I could make it community property if I wanted." That lit a fuse in me. I'm not one for fights, but I don't roll over either. I dug out my property survey, confirming the driveway was 100 fan tram Menino easements, no shared clauses. I figured she'd back off. Instead, I woke up to a red sticker on my mailbox, citing me for obstructing community flow. It wasn't from the city, just a cheap template with a fake HOA logo. When I confronted her, she smirked. "Cooperate next time," she said, like I was a disobedient kid. That's when I decided to act. Monica had mocked me, saying, "What are you going to do, build a robot to stop me?" Well, she wasn't far off. I'd worked on retractable vehicle barriers for secure facilities silent, in VY Cybele, but strong enough to stop a charging truck. I never thought I'd need one in suburbia, but here we were. That weekend, I faked a backyard barbecue to cover the noise of construction. My buddy Nate helped pour concrete and install hydraulic supports under custom pavement tiles. The system was pressure-sensitive, phone-controlled, with settings for warnings, delays, or full-on interception. I added a motion-activated camera with time-stamped logs for good measure. It was overkill, sure, but it felt right. 2 days later, Monica struck again, zooming through my driveway like she owned it. My camera caught her in crisp HD, even swerve VYing for extra flair. I flipped the system to warning mode, activating a blinking blue LED when her SUV tripped the sensors. She stopped halfway through her next run, got out, and poked at the tiles like she was inspecting my lawn. She even tried prying one up with her manicured nails, then shouted, "This is harassment. Ethan, you don't scare me." The next day, she went nuclear. She called 911, claiming a medical emergency required access through my driveway. A fire truck showed up, and I let them through, no questions asked. But trailing behind was Monica, while VYing like a parade queen, clutching a grocery bag. I reported her stunt that afternoon, but the HOA backed her, claiming I was the problem. She rallied her cronies, spread rumors about my paranoid delusions, and pushed for an emergency meeting to force an easement on my property. I wasn't in VY Ted, but I sent a cease and desist letter with my survey and a photo of the no trespassing sign I'd posted. When Monica tore it down and tossed it into my roses, I knew she'd come back. People like her always need to win. So I set the system to emergency intercept. At 7 a.m. on a Thursday, she came roaring up, muttering into her Bluetooth about harassment charges and turning my garage into a community gym. The hydraulic plate snapped up. Her front tires hit it like a ramp, sending her SUV airborne just enough to tilt and crash into the HOA's prize flower bed. Her scream was instant, raw, and glorious. Neighbors poured out, phones recording as tulips scattered like confetti. I said nothing, just sipped my coffee as Monica stumbled out, mascara streaking, fury blazing. It was all recorded, every trespass, every warning, every second of her defiance. But she wasn't done. The next morning, she was at my door by 6:32 a.m., hair damp, her wrecked SUV towed back to her drive. "You're going to jail," she hissed. "That's a death trap. It's assault." I didn't flinch. "You trespassed, Monica. You were warned." The driveway defended itself. She called it a robot weapon, like I'd built a sci-fi death ray. I calmly explained the system was legal, backed by logs and footage I'd sent to the HOA. She didn't care about facts, she cared about control. By noon, a fake HOA letter slid under my door, accusing me of endangering the community. It came with a blurry photo of her crashed SUV, captioned "malicious obstruction." My footage, though, was 4K with audio of her yelling, "I'll show you who owns this driveway." I compiled everything: VY Deos, emails, my survey, and called my attorney, Tom Hargrove, a no-nonsense guy who'd handled product liability cases. He read my files and said, "If they come for you, we'll hit back so hard they'll forget what a property line is." The HOA's emergency meeting was an ambush, announced only on a hidden Facebook post. I showed up anyway, slipping into the clubhouse's back row. Monica stood at the podium, flanked by her loyalists, spinning a tale of my dangerous driveway. She showed edited footage, cropping out her trespassing, making the gate look like a booby trap. When she proposed fining me and dismantling my system, I raised my hand. Her smile faltered. I plugged a USB into the projector and played my unedited footage. Every trespass, her mocking laughter, the 911 stunt, the sign she destroyed, and the SUV launch, complete with her pre-crash rant. The room went silent. A board member muttered, "We need more context." Another delayed the vote. Monica's glare could have melted steel, but she said nothing. That night, I anonymously uploaded the VY Deo to a subreddit for entitled people. By morning, it was VY Row Reaction, VY Deos, legal breakdowns, even an engineer praising my gate's design. Monica filed a police report, claiming I'd built a military assault machine, but the officer watched my footage and left shaking his head, calling it justified force. They investigated her fake 911 call instead. Then came the lawsuit. A process server handed me a thick envelope. Monica was suing for property damage, emotional distress, and driveway weaponization. She even billed me for a lost air freshener. Tom laughed, calling it a weak case padded with fluff. Her allies claimed my gate created an atmosphere of intimidation, and one called my camera espionage. We built a counterclaim, exposing Monica's forged notices, misused funds, and harassment. Neighbors rallied, sharing stories of her fake fines and bullying. At the preliminary hearing, Monica's lawyer painted her as a saint terrorized by my VY Gilani tech. Tom countered with my full footage, her voice echoing in the courtroom. "I'll drive where I please." The judge asked if the HOA had legally claimed my driveway. Monica blurted, "I didn't need a vote president." The case was dismissed, and my counterclaim was scheduled. Discovery revealed Monica's HOA reign was a mess of forged signatures and secret threats. She called me Garage Gremlin in private messages and joked about forcing me out. The neighborhood turned. People dropped off cookies, shared their own Monica horror stories, and smiled more. At a secret HOA meeting, residents gathered to oust her. Monica tried to spin the driveway incident as a misunderstanding, but a board member, Daniel, stood up, detailing her threats and fake fines. Others followed a retiree fined for feeding birds. A mom threatened with CPS over chalk drawings. The vote was crushing. 39 of 47 households booted her. She glared at me, whispering, "You humiliated me. You ruined my life." I didn't respond. She stormed out, heels clicking like gunfire. Monica sold her house and vanished, but not before a new video surfaced her screaming at an airport gate agent over a first-class seat, mocking a soldier nearby. It hit millions of views, cementing her as the internet's VY lane. I upgraded my gate with a digital sign, "Private property. Respect is free." Neighbors loved it. One kid called it Transformers cool. The lawsuit wrapped up Monica's appeal was rejected, and she owed my legal fees. At a community barbecue, the VYB was warm, free of her shadow. Former board members admitted she'd bullied them into compliance. As the sun set, I realized peace isn't just there, it's built piece by piece, like a machine that only works when everyone respects the gears. A young couple moved into Monica's old house, their toddler running free in the empty leave VYing room. I left them a welcome basket with a note. "If the HOA claims your driveway, call me." They laughed, and for the first time, that house felt alive. I deleted most of my footage, keeping just one clip the moment Monica climbed out of her wrecked SUV, stunned. It wasn't about gloating. It was about how far we'd come. Sometimes, late at night, I picture her glaring at another driveway, still chasing her throne. But here, the air is lighter. Kids draw chalk art, and the HOA listens. My gate stays, not because I need it, but because it says something. Boundaries matter, and respect unlocks every door. So what do you think? Was I right to build that gate, or did I go too far? Should Monica have faced harsher consequences, or was public humiliation enough? And what would you do if someone tried to claim your space, fight back, or let it slide? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you felt the drama, and subscribe for more stories where everyday folks take a stand. Let's keep this conversation going.